Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Love and Light Show with me, your host, Sarah Manning. I hope you've had an excellent day. I ended up having to take the last 2 weeks off from the radio show, so I'm back, which is always fun. That's why I put a little more effort into how I look today. I always feel like, hey, I want this show to be good, so I have to feel good too. So, there was a lot of unexpected things that happened energetically and emotionally for me last week, or the last 2 weeks. So I was just like, okay, I got, you got to listen to spirit when you work with spirit. So that's what I did. So we're just going to wait until Dave and my wonderful other team back there gets their first caller. But while we're waiting, because I know they're working hard, I'm just going to see what message we have for you guys today. I hope you guys aren't like freezing cold. I know all my family in Alberta are freezing their little tukuses off again. It's getting to be spring here. We saw the first few robins of spring a couple of weeks ago. And I love that this card just popped out because number one, it's at night. And number two, we did just have that crazy, beautiful moon not that long ago. So the card I'm going to give you guys today is the Moonlight card. And, I find it really interesting because I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but when it gets to be like 5 o'clock, I'm like, okay, I'm done for the day. I'm vegging. I'm not doing anything. But really, nighttime is such a great time to do things. And I'm finding more and more I'm a night owl. So enjoy the night, enjoy the moments. Don't rush through the evening or rush through your personal care routines. Like I keep wanting to say, make sure you take the time to love yourself in the evening as much as you did in the morning. So that's just a quick little reminder for the week. And I would go on, but we have a lovely lady from Toledo, Ohio, and her name is Gayla. Hi, Gayla. How you doing?
Hi, I'm just fine. How are you?
I am just fine as well, thank you. It's Wednesday. It's a beautiful day. I'm having fun, so it's always a good day. Gayla, as soon as I saw your name, your mom has passed. Is that right?
No, ma'am.
Oh, no, really? Oh, actually, well, hey, that's really good first. But I'm just like, you have incredible, strong women around you. Did you know your grandma on your mom's side?
Did I know my grandmother what?
On your mom's side.
Yes. I love my grandmother on my mom's side. That's my best friend.
Okay. So she comes in with a really strong energy. Gayla, did she pass due to something with the stomach, or are you not feeling well? Because as soon as I connect with her, I'm really like nauseous and I feel really quite ill.
No. She is not passed. My grandmother is 97. I just got off the phone with her.
Oh, wow. Sorry, I'm laughing at myself because I'm like, wow, I'm stumping myself. That's really good. Gayla, is it you then that's dealing with a lot of stomach things right now?
It's so funny that you said that. I don't have a lot of stomach issues, but I tell everyone that's around me, I need to do a cleaning. I'm always talking about it. Doing, yep, I have a big issue with that. Yeah.
Okay, because as soon as I said your name and I invited you into the space, I was like, holy Hannah, I'm feeling really nauseous and I don't feel well and my tummy is just like all over the place. So I would recommend the healing as well. I think that would do really good for you. And it's interesting because I don't want to say just don't just do healing or cleansing physically. I would also say do it energetically as well.
Yeah.
Do you know how to see? Okay, perfect. Yay. Okay. All right. Gayla, I'm just gonna shuffle some cards here and see what messages come through for you. And actually, the very first card that came through is intention. And I actually don't find that surprising at all, especially since you said I keep having these ideas, I keep wanting to do these things, but there's no follow through. And I want to remind you that for anything to shift, anything to happen, it's great to have the desire, but the intention has to be followed through with an action, right? Which is obvious, and right. Everything. So I always literally before I started the show, I was like, okay, I'm just going to trust whatever happens. I don't have to prove that I am who I am and blah, blah, blah. But now I'm like, I feel like because after getting your mom wrong, I'm like, But I feel like I do have somebody here from you, and I actually want to say your dad. Is your dad passed?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Okay. Okay. So sorry, I'm not laughing at the fact he's passed. First of all, I am very sorry that he is passed and everything. But he passed due to illness. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And Gila, I'm still curious because normally once I confirm something that I'm feeling physically, it disappears. But I'm wondering, I'm still feeling the nausea and sick to my stomach and stuff. And I'm just wondering, did your dad, like, the medication made him really sick that he was on, right?
I'm wondering, I just had a funeral not too long ago, 43 years old. My cousin just passed. Just Saturday, we buried him. And I'm wondering if he's coming through. My dad has been dead 5 years.
Okay.
And
the gentleman, so let me try to confirm who it is. And sometimes what happens is two spirits that want to say something will come in and they'll like almost piggyback off of each other because they're like, hey, we're both here. We both want to say hi. The gentleman that I have, like, I feel like so I'm 5'8". So anything taller than me, I consider tall. So I feel like the gentleman I have, your cousin was really vivacious and full of life. Would that be right for him?
yeah, well, yes, he was full of life. It was on the quiet side. You know what I mean? He was silent, but he was always there. I mean, everybody loved him. He's just a really strong character.
And I would say he was taller and more on the lean side, right? Very broad shoulders.
Yes, very broad shouldered. Yes.
Okay.
He played football. He wasn't lean, tall and skinny. He was nice and,
but not
I wouldn't say lean.
Right, but not like overweight or anything like that, or like
no.
Yeah, okay, so like a fitter gentleman, I guess, is what I would say, right? Like, awesome. He just tells it like it is, but in a really nice way. Like there's nothing gruff about him or anything like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
That's him.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I keep wanting to talk about his he left behind a family. Like, I keep wanting to say that he had children and he left his wife behind, and it's obviously, since it's been very recent, it's been really hard. But his wife, he was married, right? Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And his wife was like the rock for him while he was sick and dealing with everything. And like, she was just there for him. And now I keep wanting to say it's his turn to help her out. So it's she has really high expectations of herself. Is that right?
Yes. They had one son together. Just very, very sad, very young couple, sad.
Right. And she really, because of her high expectations, I keep wanting to I keep getting from him, like, she really just needs to bring it down a little bit. And she needs to realize that now is the time for her to not necessarily fall apart, because fall apart isn't in her nature, but just to realize that she's allowed to grieve. Like, she can't keep focusing and keeping busy as a way to avoid what he's going through or what she's going through. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Gila, you really love birds. Is that right? Like, I keep seeing birds around you.
Birds. No, I don't have a pet bird, but it's funny because, I was given a pet bird, years ago by a friend of mine. And I put on my Facebook page a little bird that was doing a little peekaboo under a newspaper, and he would go peekaboo. And I put that on there. It was just so sweet. And then we brought up the fact that I was given a bird by a friend of mine years ago. I kept it for, it wasn't even quite a year, and the bird died. And that was our joke, because it was like, I killed his bird, but he moved to California, and that was the only bird that I had, care of, and I didn't even have it a year, and it died. But I loved that little peekaboo bird that was, and it was just, and I just recently put that on my Facebook page. A few days ago. Yeah, and it was just funny. And we were just joking about that the other day. And I was like, I forgot about that bird, but I don't know why you see birds.
So what I love about that is, to me, it's another way to validate that it's your cousin here with us. Cause I'm like, you got to give me something to really say that it's you and that you're still hanging out with your family and with your cousin. And that's what he showed me. He showed me you surrounded by birds. So to me, because you were just talking about it, you just remembered and you posted on your Facebook page. To me, I don't believe in coincidence. Like, to me, it's very much synchronicity. And it's like, hey, that just validates that it is really him. Does that make sense?
Yeah, kind of. It's weird, but yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't have connected that. Yeah, I wouldn't have connected. And another thing you were saying earlier, I'm thinking about our first part of the conversation, that I'm surrounded by strong women, and that is true. My granny is still here, but they call her a bird.
Oh, they call her
a bird. Yep. Yeah, and that just hit me. Yeah, but she's still here, so it scares me at the same time. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah, no, and please don't don't get scared by that. So what happens when I connect with you really quickly, because I don't have the name of the person that we're going to be talking to, I have to really quick, as soon as I connect with you by phone or by voice, I have to narrow in on who's actually coming in for you. So don't worry, don't be afraid of that and stuff. But so what I really love is, so your grandma is bird, you had a bird, and you were just laughing about that. And then I'm not sure if you'll see the video clip, but the video clip that I have of myself doing the reading for you, the card actually has an owl on it, so another type of bird. So I would start paying attention to birds around you and almost seeing what their meaning is. And it wouldn't actually surprise me to know if your spirit animal was a type of bird, because you're very easygoing, and you're very floating on the wind kind of thing. I don't feel like a lot of things ruffles your feathers. I think you're very take it as it comes. Would you agree with that?
I can handle it when it comes.
Right. So it's not like, yeah. So it's of course, things, if they don't go according to plan, it's kind of annoying, but you don't make it into this big deal and you throw a temper tantrum. You're just kind of okay, well, that's how it is. And we just have to move forward with it. You're good. Right. I would say you're more practical with things, and you're easy to, it's easy for you to just kind of what is it called when birds just spread their wings and fly? They just glide on the wind, right? So there's not a lot that can ruffle your feathers. You're just very easy going that way. Does that make sense? Soar. Thank you. Yes, soar. Awesome. So whatever, and it's interesting because as I see the word soar as well, thank you to my producers who provided that. I keep wanting to remind you, with everything that's going on in your life right now, Gayla, don't get sucked down by it. Don't allow it's not even necessarily fear. It's don't allow the weight of any situation pull you down. Just enjoy your life. Keep smiling the way you do and keep laughing the way you do, because that's giving other people the strength and the positivity that they need to move forward. And when you focus on the positive, that's how things, it's interesting because I keep wanting to say, learn about manifesting, because I feel like you're a natural manifester in your life, where you're oh, that's cool. Whenever I think about something that I need to have happen, it doesn't necessarily happen the way I think it should happen, but it does come to me in one way, shape, or form. Would you agree with that?
I do agree. Awesome. I like my candles. I have a cabinet that I keep all of my things in, and I manifest a lot.
Awesome.
And things do come, they gravitate to me. But there are things that I know that I have to do to, steps that I have to do. Even when I pray for them, and I don't expect them just to fall in my lap. I have to make a way for them to come. So I keep my doors open.
Right. Now, with manifesting, the one thing that, of course, it needs to take action, but I love that you're actually really relaxed about it, because normally I have to tell people, like, get more relaxed. But what I would just encourage you with the manifesting is learn how to refine it and make it even more powerful, because they are so natural at it that I think if you just tweak it a little bit, like, how we take our car engine sometimes to get tune up, I would learn even a little bit more and just let go. Like, I keep wanting to say it's great to manifest it, but allow the universe to bring in bigger and better things, because realizing that you deserve the bigger and the better is what I would remind you. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Perfect. Yay. Awesome. Well, I would love to spend more time with you, Gayla, but I do have another gal that's just waiting for me here. So I am going to let you go. But thank you so much for joining me today. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Oh, thank you. It was a pleasure talking to you as well. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Bye, Gayla. All right. And now we have Ashley from Nashville, Tennessee. Hi, Ashley. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I am so good. Thank you so much for being so great and patient and letting me chat with the first caller. That's awesome. Did you have a great day today?
Ma'am. Yes, I did. How about you?
You know, I actually had a pretty easygoing, relaxing day. It was pretty nice, I have to admit. I don't normally do much, but I had like a 2-hour bath today, so I can't say it was bad.
Yes, I love hot bubble baths. I love it. It's like so relaxing. Yes. It's like taking a breather. So I can totally understand that one.
Awesome. Well, as we were just quickly chatting and everything, I was shuffling our cards or the cards for you. And the very first card that just threw itself out, actually, I'm surprised it didn't fall on the floor. It's the Strength card. And you know, Ashley, it's interesting, because I want to say you're very much, as a person, like, you're very meek and mild in personality. Like, when things are going on in groups, I feel like you're just kind of more of the quiet one than the, like, loud in your face person. Is that right?
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's allowed. That's a good thing. That's your personality. Because then, people like me who are loud and boisterous, we need people like you who are on the quieter side so we can be seen. But interestingly enough, I do want to remind you that is a type of strength. And I think you need, right now, you need to remember who you are, what your values are, what your strengths are, what your morals are. It's almost like you really need to get way more connected with who you are as a person and what you bring to the table and value. Oh, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi, Ashley. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, so I am just going to continue on, and hopefully she can hear the message in the recording. But so the strength is super important. And I think one of the things that people forget is, when we see a tree, we just see the beautiful foliage and the tree trunk, and we think that the trunk is where the strength comes in. But in reality, it's very much the root system that holds the tree up in the hardest and toughest winds. So I would say just, gather the strength, gather those people that feel good to you. And I think the really important thing too is to remember that, hi, Ashley.
Hi, sorry, we got disconnected. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. No, please don't apologize. That's okay. It happens, especially when you deal with energy and spirit. So actually what I was saying is, like, when we look at the key, sorry, I lost my tongue there. But, when we think of strength, and on this card, it's very much a tree. And when we see a tree, we think, we just focus on the foliage and the beautiful tree trunk, and we see that is where the strength is. But what's interesting is it's actually the root system that keeps the trees really good and healthy and able to withstand a lot of winds. And interestingly enough, Ashley, I want to tell you that it's okay to be selective in who you bring into your life. And it's okay to have friends that you're kind of like, well, I loved you, and I loved what you brought into my life, but right now I think we're on different paths. So I'll have you in my life, but from a distance. And that doesn't make you selfish. Yeah. It doesn't make you dramatic. Like, I keep wanting to say that you need to give yourself that approval to let those people go. Does that make sense?
Yes, most definitely.
Okay. The other thing too about strength is I keep wanting to say you're only as good or as strong as the people you surround yourself with. And that's not a knock on you, but I keep wanting to tell you too, like, you are smart enough, you are good enough, you are successful enough to be around those people that you admire and that you draw strength from and everything. And interestingly enough, I just got told to grab another card, and it's the slow and steady card. So when we think of trees and slow and steady, trees grow at a slow rate, but they are still growth.
Yeah.
So I want to remind you that just because you don't see massive changes in your life, that doesn't mean that you're not shifting and you're not growing. Are you really hard on yourself? Like if you don't see a product or like your goal fulfilled, do you beat yourself up really bad?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Okay, because that's why I keep getting reminder that slow and steady is still slow and steady, and it's okay. And the other thing too, Ashley, that I want to remind you is energetic, mental, and emotional shifts, they're not visible. It's not like you're going to the gym and running on an emotional treadmill where you can see changes. You have to remember that look back even 3 years from where you are now, and there are big changes. And the other thing I want to commend you is you've really become way more open-minded within even the past year with receiving constructive criticism or being able to really look at yourself and see, hey, I need to shift this, and not that I was terrible, but I need to shift this, and I'm okay with that, and I'm not going to become defensive. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, most definitely. I lost somebody that was super close to me, my grandfather, this past June, and I've really struggled with that. He had cancer, and the way that he went, it was just kind of, he was so sick that his brain, the chemicals in his brain, was so mixed up that he was basically unconscious. Like he couldn't think right, and when he passed away, me and my mother were kind of like, well, did we do everything we could, and we kind of let him go peacefully. And ever since then, I think I've been, I've had to see, I hate to say it, death right in my eyes. I've had to watch somebody that I care about, basically like my second dad, pass away. I feel like, anything I can do is be more open-minded about situations,
Right. No, that makes sense. Ashley, did your grandfather, he keeps showing me a blue shirt. Did he really love the color blue?
Yes.
Okay. And they were always button-up shirts. Is that right?
Some were. When he got really sick, he could only put on a button-up shirt, and that was it. But he was really big on like just a big blue or red T-shirt. That's what he wore. But the past 2 years where he was sick, he always had one button-up shirt just so it was easier for him to take on and off.
Right. And it's interesting because I want to say that it wasn't just the fact that he was sick that made it difficult. He really had a hard time with mobility with his hands. Is that right?
Yeah. He went to rehab to try to walk again from chemo. It really ate all his muscles.
Okay. I'm really curious. So I find it, so the gal that I connected to before you, I kept feeling really nauseated with her, and I thought it was her, but I'm really curious if it was with you. Did he have so with chemo, that's a lot of stomach issues, and like, did his cancer, was it in his stomach and his intestines and stuff?
Yes. And when you were talking to her, I got this weird feeling because I was like, I think she's talking about him. Like, I don't know. My grandmother, she can talk to spirits too. And ever since he passed away, she's kind of set down from that. And she always told me that I would get this really cool sensation feeling when something was connecting. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think that's what just happened because the way you were explaining things to her.
Right. Yeah, that can happen sometimes. And what I would say about that is your grandfather must have been very, very persistent and very like, I'm here in a very kind and loving way. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes so much sense because like it was driving me crazy that I couldn't like validate why I was feeling so sick. Because the minute I feel it and I validate it, it usually disappears. And I was like, holy Hannah, I'm not sure what's going on. So just know that he is around. And I keep wanting to say that there's so much love for you and he's very proud of you and the choices that you're making. So stop wondering if he is, because he really strongly is. Ashley, unfortunately, I am running out of time, so I do have to let you go. But thank you so much for joining me tonight. It was such a pleasure chatting with you, and I hope that the validation and the messages give you some strength and guidance.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And to everybody else, thank you so much for joining me. I will be back live next Wednesday. So love and light to all of you, and have a fantastic Wednesday night. Bye, guys.